Welcome to Onslow County Today. I'm your host, Lisa Whitman-Grice, and this is a jam-packed edition of Onslow County Today. We are going to be learning about fire safety and prevention. We're also going to learn about recycling, reducing, reusing. We'll also be learning about how we might want to participate in a pet adoption. We'll also learn about September as Senior Center Month, and finally, it's time for the fair. Thanks as always for joining us for Onslow County Today. Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Brian Kelly, the Onslow County Fire Marshal. Brian, we're so glad you're here today.
Thank you for having us, Lisa.
So we're talking about kind of in the future just a little bit. We're looking at October with Fire Prevention Week, and you all always have a wonderful slate of educational programs and activities with the community. Let's talk about the kickoff, and then we're going to talk about just those top of mind things we all want our families to be mindful of when it comes to fire prevention. So first and foremost, Fire Prevention Week.
Yeah, sure. So it's kind of become a tradition in Onslow County for the fire service to kind of band together and have this grand kickoff. And it seems like, and I'm not sure how it is, maybe it's just bragging rights, maybe it's just a little bit of an internal contest, whatever you want to call it amongst the fire service. But we're constantly trying to one-up our last year's event. And so we've partnered with Lowe's on Western Boulevard every year, and it's a great venue. It gets a lot of traffic. We all know what Western Boulevard's like on a Saturday, but it's a really good traffic flow for us. And so we do a big kickoff there on the first Saturday of every month. Mm-hmm. That just so happens to fall on October the 1st.
All right.
This year. So, and we always do it from 10 to 2, and it's a huge event with lots of venues, lots of educational messaging, not just for kids. We like to stress that. It's not just about the kids, it's about the adults too. They're the decision makers in the home, so we want to share it with both.
You know, and that's so neat that you mentioned that it's not just for kids. Kids certainly bring home so much information on a daily basis. I know my own kids, always during this week when they were little, they would come home and we would have a family fire drill and, you know, make our plans. So you begin with them, but it moves forward into adulthood so that we all keep that so internalized, almost like it's second nature. You mentioned it's October the 1st, mm-hmm. It's 10 to 2 at Lowe's, and as you say, you have lots of folks you're working with, certainly all the fire service, so the countywide as well as the city?
Yeah, county, the city, Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, our North Carolina Forest Service, if you name it, if it has any role and responsibility in helping put out a fire or in fire control in this county, it's a part of it.
Excellent. Now, when we think about that day, you said 10 to 2, all those activities for families, for kids and adults to come out and learn about, but you also will be in the community itself. You kick off on this great big wonderful day, and look, I've seen it, I've been out there, it's tremendous, but you're also out there in the community during that whole celebration. Talk about some of the things that some of our fire departments do for our families.
Sure, and for the sake of time, we won't give any specific events,
sure.
but literally everything from senior functions for senior citizens, whether it's at our senior center or whether it's in our churches, our schools. You know, we like to think that when we teach our children that we're planting a seed mm-hmm. with safety, but again, we foster it all the way up. And so anything at all that week, any opportunity, if you think that we maybe have an opportunity anytime, even not only during that week, but that month mm-hmm. for your event, whether it's a civic club, a Rotary, a Lions Club, a Civitans, we ask that while you're captive and you're thinking about that, you've heard about it today, call us. And unfortunately, if we can't squeeze you in that month, we'll still get to you.
Absolutely.
Don't see that as an opportunity we've missed the bus, so to speak. We'll still come out and do it. We are slam jammed full in literally any and every avenue and venue that we can.
You know, as we think about that, and like you said, just because this is the recognition of Fire Prevention Week, that is not certainly what we're limited to. This is a daily mindfulness that we all have to be aware of. So if you will, share with our viewers those things that you feel are so vital to keeping our families safe.
So, you know, in the fire service, we've learned throughout the years a lot of lessons learned, whether it's keeping our firefighters safe, keeping our citizens safe, whatever it may be. And you know, technology's advanced. I know I grew up sitting 2 feet away from a big TV that sat on the floor to now TVs that hang on a wall that are paper thin. The fire service is kind of the same way. We've learned even technologies about smoke alarms. When they first came out in the 60s and 70s, we were lucky to have one in a home. Now we've got codes and ordinances that put them in every single bedroom. They're hardwired with battery backups. But we're giving people now technology with even greater peace of mind. Let's say we have a senior citizen that maybe has some mobility issues, and it's hard for them to change that battery and that smoke alarm, right? That is a little bit of an underlying fear that they may or may not share with a loved one. We now have technology now that with lithium batteries, they put up that smoke alarm. It's good for the life of the alarm for 10 years. And so literally there's no maintenance other than just testing it. We have cool tools around the house that can actually help us do that. So that in and of itself is one of the different things. And you know, the home escape planning, that's our tried and true method of making sure, coupled with those smoke alarms, of making sure that everyone gets out.
So having a plan and having the right equipment and being mindful, as you say, sometimes our seniors don't always express that, and this is a way, just check on them and let them know that this is available to them.
That's correct. And also living in a military community, we find from time to time that some of the folks who are home with their families, they have a lot of reservations and they're afraid to ask questions.
Right.
And if I may just share this story, I was doing a fire safety class with our child care providers.
Right.
And a lady, she came back to me and she said she was very scared about how her plan was and she needed some help making a plan. Know that the fire service in this county is ready to help people make that plan. If you feel overwhelmed when you think about it, first off, the thing is accepting the fact that fire can happen to anyone. I'm a big football fan, and Coach Rivera, believe it or not, 2 years ago had a fire at his own home. Who would have thought an NFL coach would have had a fire? But he stresses the importance of having a plan. It's not that it can segregate any one particular demographic. It can happen to anybody. So whether you're rich, poor, young or old, you've got to have that plan, and making sure that you identify the elements and then identify the tools that you need. Those are really the key components.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you being here this morning. We want to remind folks one more time about your event, but also if they would like just more information, if they'd like to do some homework, give us your website so that they can go and find those vital links to learning more about fire prevention in their own home.
Sure. One of the best ways that I tell folks is if you have a Facebook page, we plaster our stuff in this young community through social media, as well as other tips. You know, we're also in that hurricane season. We're kind of, I won't say closing it out, but we're in September and October, and we know we've had some events there. But like us on that social media. And then also a really, really easy website to remember is firepreventionweek.org for great tips and resources. And of course, we'll also be uploading some stuff on the new website coming out here before too long on our emergency services page.
Excellent. And of course, YouTube. We've got information on our YouTube channel. And of course, sometimes folks just like to talk to a human.
That's correct.
And so they can pick up and call you at emergency services.
That's correct.
Find out more. So one more time, Brian, please share with us Fire Prevention Week kicking off.
Yep, October the 1st, Lowe's Western Boulevard, 10 to 2.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is one of our favorite friends, Lisa Ryder. Lisa is here to share with us always the do's and don'ts of recycling, but also a few other tidbits that we all need to keep be mindful of, keep on our refrigerator. And so we want to begin, Lisa, talking about those do's and don'ts of recycling that we always need a refresher course in.
Okay, so most people know the recycling your bottles and cans and paper and cardboard. So we want to focus today on what's not recyclable, because there's much more that is recyclable than is not recyclable. A couple of new things that are recyclable just in the last couple of years are cartons, so your milk cartons, and what we call Tetra Paks. And Tetra Paks are just the cartons that maybe your soup comes in nowadays, that kind of thing. So those are recyclable now. The things that aren't are pouches, the plastic bags, and it may have a recycle symbol on it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it is recyclable. It just means that it's showing you what type of material it is. So you'll see a number in there. And plastic bags, unfortunately, are not recyclable at a material recovery facility or a recycling center. And it's mainly because it jams up the work. So there's a lot of, mechanical equipment that processes the material and sorts it out. And the plastic bags, unfortunately, do quite a bit of damage there. But you can, if you are, keen to use plastic bags over reusables, which we prefer. But if you need to use those plastic bags, we recommend that you collect them and then you take them back to the grocery store. And most grocery stores now have a recycle container, either inside or outside, to collect those bags.
Okay. And it's becoming so much easier to use the reusables. Every big box store, every grocery store, and some even will give you a discount for using their bags as well.
Absolutely, and that's a great effort that stores are doing now. Even you're not so typical stores that you would think of when you go to shop to bring your reusable bag. Like when I go to buy shoes, I bring my reusable bag, that kind of thing. And another thing that's not recyclable, of course, is polystyrene, or what we think of as styrofoam. So that's kind of, it's kind of come up in the question of whether it is or whether it is not recyclable. And styrofoam, unfortunately, is one of those things that is not marketable, so it's not recyclable. And I know that a lot of restaurants and a lot of places use polystyrene or styrofoam for their to-go-ware. So there are a couple of really good options to avoid that, and I brought some with me here. So some of the to-go-ware, actually forks and knives, are made of a condensed form of polystyrene. So it's the polymers that are kind of condensed, and it makes it hard. And so what I recommend is just bringing your own ware. So you can bring, silverware that you have at your house, or you can buy these kits that are great. You can bring them with you. You can even hook them on to your purse or, whatever you have with you. And they're great. They're reusable. They're washable. You use them over and over again. And then also to-go-ware for your food.
Awesome.
So you can buy these things, or you can even take, plastic or glass containers with a lid and take your, to-go in that way. And that way you're reusing, and you're not bringing home things that you have to throw away.
I think that overall our perception of things like bringing our own to-go-ware, even saying, I don't need a bag. Let me just carry out whatever I'm from the store. I think the perception is changing. I think that even a year, 2 years ago, if you had said, oh no, I don't need a plastic bag, you'd get that look like, what? Why? Here, everybody needs a. And now I think through your efforts and the efforts that are being made nationwide, this is becoming the norm as opposed to the exception.
Right. It very much is becoming the norm. I think people are realizing that it's not just an environmental issue. It's an economic issue. And so when you go to a grocery store and you take those plastic bags, the grocery store has to pay for the production, or to have those plastic bags. So by not taking them, you are then contributing to an effort to reduce the cost of even your groceries. So it's good all the way around, but it's also good, keeping these non-biodegradable plastics, single-use plastics, out of our environment.
There's really a connectivity overall in terms of quality of life and economics, as
Absolutely.
you say. So you also have another event coming up as well, and that is a home hazardous waste collection day. Did I get that correct?
Yes. So twice a year now we have what's called a household hazardous waste collection day.
Okay.
And this is anything that you think could be hazardous. So of course paint, both latex and oil-based, paint thinners, any kind of cleaning products, anything like that, you can bring that to this collection day. And we have it twice a year so that it's convenient. And it's quite expensive to get rid of some of these materials, and that's the reason why we just have it twice a year.
Right, okay. So give us the dates that you're having
it'll be
that.
Saturday, November the 19th.
Okay.
And usually we have it from 9 until noon, and this year, or this event, we're going to be holding it from 9 until 4.
Okay, excellent. So all day, and it's a Saturday. Any way that we need to market, any way that we need to package it before we bring it to you? Is there anything you want us to do?
It's best if you know what it is,
Okay.
but if you don't, that's fine too. Bring it and then we'll test it while we're there. If you have things that you're unsure of that's not labeled and you think it's really toxic, keep it closed and bring it to us in the later part of the afternoon, and that way we have more time to spend to test it and make sure we are able to handle it properly.
Who among us hasn't maybe rented a house and go into the shed, go into the garage, and there in the corner is that paint can that's been sitting there for a while. So this is that opportunity, even if you don't know what it is, to get it out of your household.
Absolutely.
And is there a fee associated for the citizen?
We have our regular household trash fee, so you'll go over the scales, and the event is at the landfill, so it's 415 Meadowview Road.
Okay.
Right off of Richlands Highway. You'll take Pony Farm Road and get onto Meadowview, and you'll weigh in. So you'll drive up on the scales, you'll weigh in, and then you'll weigh out, and you pay for the weight of the materials. It's $49 a ton,
Okay.
and that most people are not going to have a ton of hazardous materials in their house. We hope.
Right. Okay, so we've got what you're calling the HHW, and so that's your Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day, Saturday, November the 19th, 10 until 4, and the fee is just the fee that you would pay for your regular waste disposal there.
Right, it's based on weight.
Okay, try and have it marked, and this is a great way to get those things out of your house that you don't want around your kids, you don't want around your pets, you don't want in your household.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then finally, we want to remind folks again, you do tremendous amount of research in our outreach in our schools, in our civic groups. Tell folks, Lisa, how they can reach you so that if they want to know more about making a difference in our environment and ultimately in the economy, how they can reach you to learn more.
They can go on our website, and that's www.onslowcountync.gov/landfill.
Okay.
They can also call our main line. It's 910-989-2187. They can call me directly, and that's 937-1442. And they can also find my email address on the website as well. And we do tours of the landfill for both citizens and schools. We do in-classroom presentations that are correlated to the curriculum, and anything anybody would like us to do to talk about trash and recycling. We are open for that.
You are just a reservoir of information. I always learn something new every time you come and join us. So thank you for that, and thanks always for sharing what you do with our citizens.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Jennifer Monteforte from Onslow County Animal Services. Jennifer, we're so glad to have you back.
Thank you for having us.
Now, we want to talk about a special event you all are hosting in conjunction with the PetSmart on Western Boulevard. Tell us about your big adoption event coming up.
We do have this event twice a year, so we're really excited. It's a weekend-long event. It's September 16th, 17th, and 18th from 11 to 6 daily. We will have our dogs and cats out there ready for adoption. We're really excited about it.
You know, it's such a neat partnership that you all have forged with PetSmart through the years, and to have this adoption event in such a visible location must be a great asset.
It is. It's amazing, and it's getting bigger and bigger every year, every event actually. And we've worked with PetSmart Charities. They provide us with a grant, a very generous grant, which allows us to put on a weekend-long event, which is something very special.
So when folks come out to adopt, you have a fee schedule that has been set up just for this event. Tell us about what that fee schedule is.
We do have special fees for the event. Our dogs are $100 for the adoption. Our cats are all $80 for the adoption. And that adoption fee includes their vaccinations, spay, neuter, and a microchip. So everything you need to bring a new pet into your home, they will have already going out of the tent event.
That is fantastic. That fee, that $100 fee for dogs or $80 for cats,
Correct.
is all inclusive. So the adoption fee, the vaccinations, the spay and neuter, all covered.
Correct.
That is a tremendous, tremendous opportunity for our families who are looking to add that furry family member.
Absolutely. When you do get an animal, you have to factor in the cost of taking to the vet, getting it spayed and neutered. We take care of all that for you so that when you bring that pet home, they're ready for your family.
That's fantastic. Now, we mentioned being ready for the family.
Yes.
How can a family really prepare? You know, this is a huge decision. This is not going out and just buying an extra, you know, throw pillow or a plant for your house. This is adding a family member. What sort of things do you want families to be mindful of before making this big decision?
Yes, while we do want people to come out and adopt, we don't want it to be something they do lightly. There are lots of things to take into consideration. The size of your home, how much time you have. If you're taking in an animal that needs a lot of exercise, are you able to provide that for them? Different breeds need different things, so you want to be sure that you're able to provide that. Will you be moving? Are you expecting a new baby? These are things you need to take into consideration before you bring a new member into your home, because we want that to be a family member forever and not just, you know,
kind of an accessory.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
And that's what I think, you know, when we made the decision to adopt, we took some of those little online quizzes, you know, that kind of help you match up to the size of animal you're looking for, the temperament even, a lot of times. Although we also know that each animal, each one of those pets has its own personality.
Oh, absolutely. But different breeds do have different temperaments. Some, you know, are your couch potatoes. Some are out and need that exercise every day. So you need to fit that animal to your life.
So maybe if you're a little more sedentary, Jack Russell's not in your...
No, that would not be a good suggestion. Not a husky. You know, there are different dogs that can fit different lifestyles.
Excellent. And you all are so wonderful. When even folks are not able to go to one of your big events, when we visit you at the Animal Services location, you're great about letting people get to know, working with your volunteers and working with your staff, for them to get to know the pet. Talk a little bit about that engagement time that you have.
Well, we always encourage meet and greets. We want to make sure that it's a good fit. Spending time with the animal outside of a kennel makes a difference. An animal is not the same in the kennel as they are outdoors, and we have outdoor kennels to do meet and greets. We have volunteers that can help out, and a staff member with a wealth of information to help everyone make that correct choice.
Awesome. So let's one more time, because this is a big, big event, and we want everybody to come out and think about making that choice to adding that new family member. Tell us again when your adoption event is.
It is September 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Okay.
It runs from 11 to 6 daily, and it is in the Western Boulevard PetSmart parking lot. We're
Okay.
under a big tent, so you can't miss us.
All right. Well, as we say, you know, PetSmart there on that Western Boulevard, a lot of traffic down that road, so definitely look for that big tent, look for your signage. And if folks want to know more, please give us your telephone number and your website.
You can always call the animal shelter. It's 910-455-0182, or myself directly. It's 910-937-1168. And then we put out a lot of information on our Facebook page as well. So that would be Onslow County Animal Services.
All right. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much, as always, for helping us find a forever friend at the Onslow County Animal Services.
Thank you. We hope to see a lot of people out there.
Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and we are joined today by Shelley Ashley with Onslow County Senior Services. Shelley, so good to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
Now, September is a big month for Senior Services. Tell us what's going on.
Okay, we have our Senior Center Month coming up.
Okay.
And we would also like to incorporate our open house into that.
All right.
So we're inviting seniors in the community and their families to come and see what we have to offer. We have people available for tours. We have plenty of activities going on throughout the month of September.
That is fantastic. You know, I have never been over to Senior Services when it was not hopping. That is one busy, wonderfully active place. And so for folks who might be new to the area or who might just be transitioning, who are eligible to use your services, this is really a great time to get to know you all.
It really is, and we will be providing small, insights as to what we do daily.
Right.
Also small insights of what we have, that go on throughout the year. We ask that a lot of the seniors in the community come and see it for themselves instead of reading it on the website or reading it through our newsletter, to come actually out and physically see the building.
I will tell you, and just on a personal note, when my parents began to go out to the center, what they liked was that then they were re-engaging with friends. When you're working and you're so busy, and then now that they've retired, they get to see people again.
Absolutely. We have a lot of people that come out that don't realize that they have a lot of friends there. And then they also make a lot of friends once they get there.
Awesome. Now, September is jam-packed.
Yes.
And so you and I both kind of have a little cheat sheet.
We do.
Because you have got a lot going on, and we want to just touch on that. But the first thing we want to do is, in the midst of all of this, you have a central theme or thread running through that. And what is kind of the theme of this year's Senior Center celebration?
Well, it is actually a National Senior Center Month.
Okay.
And so the theme is to know your balance.
Okay.
And so we are trying to incorporate everything we can for seniors to know their balance in different activities that we have going on.
Okay.
And we also invite people to come out, to not only these activities, but to see what other activities we have that stimulate them through the year.
Okay.
Not just necessarily what's going on in September.
But this is just a great introduction.
Yes.
So you're kicking off all month long. You're having some special features.
Right.
And everything is, like you said, it's kind of a mind, body, nutrition, financial,
Right.
fun. You've got a little bit of everything going on.
We
And
do.
you've got some partners as well. You've got folks that you're working with. You've invited
Yes.
folks from outside in the community as well. So let's kick off on September the 6th. The first thing you got going on is a nutrition program.
Right, we have a wellness and nutrition program. We have a lady coming over from the health department
Okay.
to help find their balance in nutrition. And it's going to be focused on portion control, cholesterol, because it is cholesterol month.
Okay.
And just to be aware of what your choices are.
Sometimes I know we all have to be thoughtful about what we do eat, but also sometimes, and we know this with our seniors, when you're not really cooking for a whole family anymore, you're not always thinking about that breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the same way.
Mm-hmm. Right, and this gives them an opportunity to know what to choose.
Mm-hmm.
When you have choices, especially when you're living by yourself, you tend to make the choices that are convenient for you.
Right.
But this is going to be looking into more of a nutritional choice.
Excellent. And then a week later, on the 13th, you're doing another program, and this time it's about our finances.
Right, we have State Employees Credit Union. They'll be visiting with us, and they will be helping the seniors to balance their finances, or just to be aware of how to balance your finances and what to look out for in scams and frauds and things that are out there that pertain to their banking needs.
Yeah, these are people who have worked hard their whole lives, and we want to make sure it's protected. And then on the 15th, you're doing something else, and this is something I think just sounds really terrific. Brain Teaser Day?
Brain Teaser Day. We did this a couple of months ago, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. And it ends up being a competition.
Okay.
And so what we do is we just take trivia questions and we put them into groups, and the seniors just so enjoy it because we do things that are in their past.
Okay.
So really make them focus.
So really things that they can identify
Right.
with.
Absolutely.
And call back up probably some terrific memories as well.
Right, yeah. Oh, and they so enjoy it because each one wants to stop and tell a story. So, which is fun, which I know for you, that's very fun.
You know that's one thing.
I do.
So then on the 21st, you're having a special day at your adult daycare.
Right, that is Adult Daycare Week.
Okay.
And so what we wanted to do was incorporate the adult daycare into the fun activities we have at the center. So we're incorporating it both together, and we're doing just a big fun day for all of them.
And we've had your adult daycare staff joining us here on Onslow County today, and the respite and the resource that is for our families who are caring for a loved one, it's immeasurable.
It is, it's very nice, and to be able to incorporate them into the center is what we try to do on all these activities that we have planned. But this one is for their special week.
That's fantastic. And last but not least, and this is something we've talked a lot about with you all and with Cooperative Extension, and that is kind of tying all your idea of balance up, and talk a little bit about the workshop that you're having on the 22nd with the balance program, the fall prevention.
Right, that is actually Fall Prevention Day.
Okay.
We do have a couple of evidence-based programs that we provide, for seniors that are 55 and older in the community. So what we have done on Fall Prevention Day is we've taken our 3 fall prevention classes, which is Tai Chi for balance. We do a Matter of Balance class.
Right.
And then we also do a Walk with Ease class.
Okay.
And so this is going to be an intro into those classes. Because a lot of people will look and say, I don't want to take a 6-week class. But when they see what the class is all about and the measurable outcomes, because this is all done through Stanford University.
Very good.
And it is an evidence-based class. And so they'll be able to come out and just get a kind of an introduction to what the class is all about.
So really kind of what is the best fit for them as well.
Right, because we do have some, like we do offer a chair exercise program, which we do have some people that are just strict to their chair to be able to exercise, which is absolutely fine. And then we can offer different levels, and this will give them an opportunity to see what level they're at.
Excellent. And Shelley, of course, we've talked about a lot of different things going on, so we want to make sure that folks know the basics. So we're celebrating Senior Center Month in September.
Right.
And let's tell everybody who might not be familiar where the main site is, and then let them know about the sites out in the county.
Okay, we're at 4024 Richlands Highway.
Okay.
That is our main site there.
Okay.
We also have a senior center in Richlands.
Okay.
And then we have one in Belgrade,
Okay.
in Swansboro, and also in Sneeds Ferry.
Excellent. So if they can't get to your main site there are also auxiliary sites out and about.
Absolutely, and they can call the main site to find out information on the other sites, or they can call the other sites directly, which
Okay.
there's information in our newsletter, which is also posted on our website.
And tell everybody about your newsletter, because this is a beautiful publication that they might want to know more about.
Well, thank you. We do have a newsletter. It's called our Golden Times.
Okay.
And it shows all the information that goes on for 2 months. But then if we throw something else in there, it's on our monitors that are in their hallway in our senior center. If you're to come out to visit, you'll be able to see. We try to put it out in the daily news on every Sunday, which is
Okay.
our senior spot. And it tells you a little bit about, the extra things that we throw in that we're not able to get into the newsletter.
All right, so newsletter, website, call, or this is a great time for September to just go out and get to know your senior center and what it has to offer.
Right, absolutely. You're more than welcome to come visit any other time of the year. But we're going to do a big push to try to get more. We have increased quite a bit at our center, which we're really thankful for.
Sure.
But we would continue to like to reach out to the seniors that we haven't reached out to yet, or the seniors that are just turning seniors.
There you go. All right. Well, Shelley, Ashley, it is always great to visit with you, and thank you for sharing with us about Senior Center Month.
Well, thank you, Lisa. Thanks for having me.
Well, you know what? This is just one of my favorite times of year. It's time for the fair, and we have Deborah Consalves with us from Onslow County Cooperative Extension. Deborah, welcome to Onslow County today.
Welcome. Thank you.
So it's time for the fair.
Yes.
And I think everybody gets excited about it, whether you're a grown-up or a kid. This is a great time to kind of go back and have that nostalgic feel that the fair gives us all, from the smell of, the fair, the cotton candy and funnel cakes and the midway with the rides. But at Cooperative Extension, you all are all responsible for the educational booths and the wonderful, wonderful display of crafts and food and all kinds of really terrific things that people have worked on all year long. And this is their time to show it off.
Yes, it is. And I encourage everyone to do just that. If you have a garden and you have some tomatoes that you are just really proud of, bring them. It's an exhibit. You might win, $4 or $5. Who knows? You have chickens, bring some eggs. You just need to bring half a dozen, anything like that. And then we also have categories for different crafts: crocheting, knitting, sewing, canning products, quilting, just a myriad of anything really that you can do, you can enter into the county fair. And like I said, I encourage you to do it. It's really fun to see the talent that is in Onslow County of the crafts and things that they produce each year. It's amazing.
You know, you brought your fair booklet, and we can't possibly, because the great thing is if you can do it, there's probably a category there.
Exactly.
And so a lot of times people can pick up their fair books from you at Cooperative Extension.
Yes. They're at the library.
Okay.
They do mail them out, I think just to random households. But you can call our office and come by and get one, or we will mail it to you, no problem.
Okay, so we've got them hooked. People want to be at the fair. So when is the fair, and when should we bring our items for display?
The fair begins Monday, October 3rd,
Okay.
and goes through Saturday, October 8th.
Okay.
On Monday, October 3rd, from 8:30 to 4:30, you can bring your items.
Okay.
There is no fee to bring
Okay.
it, and we will record it and ticket it and put it on for display. And then when the fair opens later that evening, everybody can come in and they can look and see all the exhibits and all the neat things that people have made.
And then there's judging, and certainly you always keep the judges anonymous.
Yes.
But if you come back on Tuesday night and you come into the exhibit, then you can see who got ribbons or who might have
Yes.
gotten prizes.
Yes, you can. There'll be blue ribbons, red ribbons. It's exciting. And it's exciting to see your item there with that tag on it.
You know, I think that it does bring about that, as we said, that sense of nostalgia, because this is what really our fairs, long before there were Ferris wheels and merry-go-rounds, long before there was any of that, the Onslow County Fair, which was started in the 19th century, was all about the things that people could produce.
Right.
And you brought a few things with you today.
Yeah, I
so
have.
we're going to kind of show those off here. And first and foremost, let's see if we can slip this out from under here. This is an item that I believe won a ribbon.
Yes, it did.
And this is some cross-stitch work that was done by one of our folks in the Sneads Ferry community.
Yes.
And it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. And people, whether they're kind of just starting out, and I think that that's a good way too, to kind of keep practicing, you know.
Yes.
You start as a beginner, and then you wind up with something gorgeous like this. Okay, so let's slide something else out here. You know, one of the things that we all tend to associate with the fair is canning. And you all did a little something extra this summer. You taught some canning classes at Extension.
Right, we had some food preservation classes, and we offered them throughout the year, different seasons, but we had some this year, and these are some potatoes. And these potatoes actually were grown out back behind our building in the Discovery Garden.
That is so terrific. And you all, again, in the booklet, have the guidelines, or they can contact your office about how things need to be canned, because these are tested by the judges. Everything is taste tested.
Yes.
And so there are some safety matters that you all always give some terrific guidelines to make sure that we're canning and preserving our food properly.
Correct.
All right, so let's see what else we've got here. Well, some beautiful baskets that people made. And you don't just have categories for adults, do you, Deb?
No, there are categories for children as well, and that's really exciting for me to see the wonderful talent that the youth in Onslow County has. It's amazing, and to see the looks on the kids' faces when they bring it in to show their item. It's really exciting.
And that's one of the things we see. We see baskets, we see woodwork. The one thing that I always remember is the young woman who made her prom dress out of duct tape and recycled grocery store or reused grocery store bags.
I did not see that.
That was incredible. And so not only was it an environmental statement, but she also had made, and she wore her prom dress that she had made herself.
Wow.
So you see all kinds of cool things. We're going to pull out just a couple more here because I know that this is one you know, the idea we preserve things and can things, but you also, you all have taught some classes in fermentation and pickling as well.
Yes.
And so that's always one of the big hits at the fair, as I understand, is all the pickled things.
Yes.
And this is
Beets.
beets. All right, maybe not my favorite,
Not mine either.
but there are people who love them.
Yes, they do.
And so they'll be all shown off. And finally, Deb, when we talk about the fair and the display of things, and they come out on the 3rd, they get judged on the 4th, they can come back the evening of the 4th and see everything. When do they need to come pick them up, and what do they need to bring with them?
They will need to come back on the following Monday, October 10th, between 8 and noon to pick up your item. When you drop your item off, you will be given a claim ticket.
Okay.
And you need to bring that ticket with you, and we'll get your items to you.
All right, for folks who might be new to the area but want to get involved with the fair, where do they need to take them? Where are the fairgrounds located?
The fairgrounds are located off of Georgetown Road, Broadhurst Road,
Okay.
Off of Highway 17 South.
All right, very good. And if they can't quite find it, look for the merry-go-round.
Yes.
Look for the Ferris wheel.
The Ferris wheel, yes,
All
ma'am.
right, well, excellent. And Deb, finally, your main number at Cooperative Extension, if people want to have more questions, want to get a booklet, or want to know if their category, anything that they've made is eligible.
It's 455-5873.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for getting us ready for the fair.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Thank you, as always, for joining us for Onslow County Today, and a special thank you to each of our guests. Brian Kelly, Onslow County Fire Marshal, to Lisa Ryder from Onslow County Solid Waste, who gave us the do's and don'ts of recycling, Jennifer Monteforte from Onslow County Animal Services, and their special upcoming animal adoption event. To Shelley Ashley, thank you for sharing with us about Senior Center Month. And finally, Deborah Consalves, who told us all about the upcoming Onslow County Fair. This is a great time of year here in Onslow County. Get out and explore your Onslow County today.